You probably think you understand women. You've been around them, talked to them, maybe even loved one. But what if I told you that 90% of what a woman communicates isn't through her words at all? What if her eyes, her shoulders, the way she crosses her legs or touches her hair are more honest than anything she'll ever say out loud? Because the truth is, a woman's body language never lies. And once you learn to read it, it's like you're seeing a secret world hidden in plain sight. You see, human behavior is coded, and women, whether they realize it or not, send constant signals that reveal attraction, insecurity, dominance, curiosity, or even desire. The problem is, most men are blind to them. They're too focused on what's being said instead of how it's being said. But the body is the oldest language in the world. It existed long before speech. Before we could talk, we could signal. And that's what women still do. They signal. Have you ever noticed how a woman's feet point when she's talking to you? Or how her pupils expand slightly when she's excited? These are not random. They are primal responses, built deep into human psychology. Carl Jung, the great psychoanalyst, once said that every gesture carries an unconscious message, a shadow of what the conscious mind hides. So when a woman tilts her head slightly as you speak, it's not just curiosity. It's her subconscious showing comfort, even admiration. But let's go deeper. When a woman is genuinely interested in a man, her body becomes subtly open. Her shoulders align toward you. Her chest unconsciously faces you even if she's turned away. Her arms aren't crossed because crossing arms is a form of self-protection. Instead, she exposes the soft, vulnerable areas of her body, her neck, her wrists, her collarbone, not as weakness, but as invitation. Evolutionary psychologists say that these are ancient mating cues, ways of signaling trust and emotional openness. Yet most men never see them. They stare at their phones, trying to be cool, while the real conversation, the silent, magnetic one, is happening right in front of them. Here's something most men will never realize. When a woman plays with her hair, it's not always flirting. And context matters. The pace, the rhythm, the environment. If she's gently twirling it while smiling and leaning in, it's subconscious self-grooming, a classic sign of attraction. But if she's doing it with tense shoulders or looking away, it's anxiety or discomfort. Same gesture, different meaning. That's what makes human behavior so fascinating. Every move has two sides, conscious and unconscious. What she wants you to see, and what she can't hide. And the eyes, they're the most powerful of all. When she likes you, her eyes linger just a moment too long. She looks at you, then away, then back again. That double take, that's dopamine talking. It's a small reward loop that the brain fires when it's intrigued by something, or someone. But here's the twist. If she's trying to control her emotions, she might avoid eye contact completely. Jung called this the mask of resistance, when attraction becomes so strong it scares the ego. So she hides it. In social psychology, this is known as the approach-avoidance conflict. She wants to get closer, but something inside holds her back. That tension, that invisible pull, is what creates chemistry. Now let's talk about the way she stands near you. Most men think physical touch is the key, but before touch, there's distance. Proxemics, the study of personal space, reveals everything about power, attraction, and comfort. When a woman likes a man, she will unconsciously close the gap. Maybe she stands a little too close. Maybe she brushes by your arm. Maybe she leans in when she laughs. These aren't random. They're her subconscious testing how safe it feels to be in your energy field. But when she dislikes you, her body will literally move away. She might lean back, place an object between you, like a phone or cup, or even angle her feet toward the exit. Her body is saying no, even when her mouth is polite. And yet, one of the deepest secrets about women's body language is this. When she feels deep respect for you, she still shows softness, but with boundaries. She won't be overly touchy. She won't giggle like she's nervous, because true admiration calms her nervous system. Her tone becomes slower, her breathing steadier, her gaze more direct. This is what psychologists call parasympathetic synchrony, when two nervous systems align. So how can you know the difference between attraction and respect? Between desire and manipulation? It's all in the micro-expressions. Micro-expressions are those half-second flashes of emotion that reveal true feelings before the brain censors them. You've probably seen it before. A quick smirk, a flicker of surprise, or a tiny frown that disappears. Women are especially good at controlling these, but no one can hide them completely. If you pay attention, not with judgment but with presence, you'll start to see what her words are hiding. This is where Stoicism enters the picture. A Stoic man does not chase validation. He observes. He listens to silence as much as sound. He is not swayed by beauty nor blinded by emotion. He reads body language not to manipulate, but to understand. To see truth beneath illusion. Because in a world where people wear masks, awareness is power. Imagine this. You're sitting across from a woman at a cafe. She's talking, smiling, gesturing, all normal. But you notice small things. Her pupils widen when you hold eye contact. She mirrors your posture after a few seconds. When you lean forward, she leans too. When you touch your neck, she touches hers. This is mirroring, one of the strongest subconscious signs of rapport and attraction. Her body is syncing with yours. But here's the twist. If you mirror her instead, she'll feel seen, safe. That's because our brains are wired with mirror neurons, tiny circuits that create empathy by mimicking others' states. When you consciously slow your tone, relax your posture, and genuinely listen, her nervous system recognizes safety. And safety is the foundation of attraction. So many men think attraction is about power, but in truth it's about presence. A man who is grounded, who doesn't fidget, doesn't overreact, who looks at her like he's seeing her soul instead of her shape, that's the man who triggers something ancient in her. Because his stillness tells her, I am not desperate. And nothing is more magnetic to a woman than a man who is calm in chaos. Even how you walk affects how she responds. Slow, deliberate movement communicates confidence. Rushed or jittery movement signals anxiety. Women are biologically wired to pick up these micro-signals faster than men. It's part of evolutionary survival. That's why she can tell instantly if a man is insecure before he even opens his mouth. Let's talk about the lips. When a woman licks or bites her lips while looking at you, it's usually not conscious. It's her body keeping them moist when she's slightly aroused or nervous. But if she does it repeatedly, without breaking eye contact, it's a clear sign of increased interest. Psychologically, it's both a display of vulnerability and seduction, a silent invitation for intimacy. But again, context is king. What most men don't know is that the most honest signals happen when she's silent. When the conversation fades and she doesn't rush to fill the gap, but simply looks at you with that tiny smile. That's the real connection. Because when the body relaxes in silence, truth appears. Jung believed that the body is the shadow of the soul. Every emotion the mind suppresses, the body expresses. That's why the more emotionally intelligent you become, the clearer the signals you see. You stop being fooled by words and start hearing what's unsaid. And perhaps the deepest secret of all is this. When a woman truly loves you, her body language softens even when she's angry. Her tone lowers, her eyes still seek yours, her hands reach out mid-argument, because the emotional bond overrides the ego's defense. That's how you know it's real. Understanding body language isn't about decoding women, it's about decoding truth. And once you master that, not only will your relationships change, you'll change. Because every time you read a gesture, every time you sense energy without words, you're sharpening awareness. And that awareness makes you powerful, calm, and almost impossible to manipulate. Most people think psychology is about studying others. But real psychology is about mastering yourself first. When you're stable, grounded, and at peace, you become a mirror for the world. And in that still reflection, everyone reveals who they truly are.